So my friend saw this Ford Mustang for sale and thought it'd be a fun car to have as a track car, kind of a weekend car. And I saw the listing as well. I had seen it previously and thought, wow, that car has a lot of money into it. It's a nice car. And so I went back to look at the listing, and the list is actually quite long. It's a 3-valve Mustang with about 14,000 into mods. It says it's the 3-valve. It has a Mishimoto aluminum radiator, Ford Racing cold air intake, throttle body, injectors, K&N filter, Ford Racing hot cams, 91 octane tune, comes with the SET tuner, has the Steeda charge motion delete plates, Cook's long tubes, Cook's off-road X, Cook's Cadet X. It said it was 332 to the wheels, Borla touring mufflers, which is what I have on my yellow GT, 5-speed TR3650, Hurst shifter, one-piece aluminum drive shaft. Has the drive shaft safety loop, which is kind of required for racing and stuff. 373 Ford Racing gears, the ring and pinion, torsion T2R differential. ARP long wheel studs, front and rear. Has the hood latches, and it has a tow loop for the front. Got a lot of suspension stuff on it, like Boss 302 strut tower brace, ground control coil over front struts, adjustable ground control front camber plates, Coney double adjustable dampers. Has the Eibach springs in it. Comes with different springs if you want to change them out. Ford Racing 35mm adjustable front sway bar, ground control front adjustable sway bar links, polyurethane bushings front and rear, Steeda front ball joints, Steeda bump steer kit. This car has been properly bump steer adjusted. 250-pound Eibach rear springs, ground control rear stabilizer spring perches, just all this stuff that is, for racing, a lot of suspension modifications. And I was talking to him and his son about this car and saying, if you're gonna go racing and you really want to buy a car to race, it's good to get one that has all this stuff in it already, because you're going to spend a lot of money. As you can tell, the listing had said about $14,000 into this car just on performance parts and handling and stuff. And so he looked at a couple other Mustangs, but they were stock. One of them, had cams, so it was kind of beat up and stuff. But anyway, we continue down the list. It has a lot of BMR rear lower control arms, BMR upper adjustable control arms, Cortex Street, Watts Link, rear axle vent. So has a lot of really neat parts. The brakes are really impressive too. When I saw the brakes, I thought, oh yeah, that looks like a pretty good set. Has the Brembos on the front, really big ones. And it says it's the Ford GT kit. Also has some good brake pads. I hear good things about the Hawk brake pads, and that's what this car has on it. One of the things I liked a lot about the car that I thought looked really good were the GT500 wheels. So it has a set of 08 Shelby GT500 wheels. And the tires are worn out and old, but it had a set of 255 18s on there, which were a little narrow. But good looking car. It's a neat car. Reminds me of the FR500S. I've ridden in a FR500S on a hot lap. And one thing that's really nice about this car is the interior is in really, really good shape. On this generation, the door panels are always peeling down. The interior does not hold up on this generation. Car has 128,000 miles on it, so it's a little bit higher in the mileage. It's getting up there, and it is a dedicated track car. It doesn't have a cage or anything in it, but it looks really good, and it was a nice car. Like overall, just a very nice looking car. So he asked what I would recommend about this car if I wanted to look at it, and I said, go ahead and bring it over. He brought it over once, and it did have some noise in the top end. We basically agreed that it's probably cam phasers. That's his son's Mach 1 you've seen on the channel. So him and his son came over to work on it. So we thought probably cam phasers, possible timing chain guides like my brother was saying, but nice looking car. But anyway, I said, if you're going to buy it, you might as well at least invest into an oil change, compression test, and see what the plugs look like and everything. So he went ahead and did this. He didn't own the car yet. He talked to the owner. They said to go ahead and test drive it and do what you want with it. So he brought it over, and we changed the oil, and we cut open the oil filter and looked inside, and we didn't really see anything inside the oil filter, but here's some of that noise. I had recommended that if you're going to buy a race car, you should probably do a compression test. Luckily, the plugs have been changed recently, so they're the one-piece design, and the previous owner put some anti-seize on them down below and on the threads, so that's why they're a little like that. But plugs look pretty good, and they were changed fairly recently, so nothing looked too bad there. Unfortunately, we didn't have the right tool. You know, we went through everything, pulled the plugs and ignition coils off, and I showed where to pull the relay for the fuel pump and the fuse right next to it, right above it right here. And that's what we were going to do the compression test, but we didn't have an extra long extension piece to get into the spark plug holes because they reduced so much. So unfortunately, a normal compression tester wouldn't work. They were really nice to get dinner for everybody. They got in and out, and so that's always nice when people offer. So that was fun. I enjoyed that a lot. And my friend had asked his friend, who's a mechanic, about what he thought, and his friend caught the fact that one of the plugs was cracked on the porcelain. So that was good to see. We changed the plugs anyway, but that was a good observation on his part. So we looked through the oil, you know, swirled it around with a magnet and everything. There's a little bit in there. I don't know if that's oil or metal in the oil or not. Kind of looks like there's a little bit of that kind of marble swirly look, but he determined that he thought it was pretty good, so he went ahead and bought the car. So overall, you can see the 3-valve Mustangs. You know, they're neat cars. They look good. They have a couple differences, things like the cam phasers and the spark plug holes that I'm not really a fan of. But other than that, they sound really good and they're fun cars. And so he's looking to take this to Willow Springs and have some fun with it. Might lock out the cam phasers or replace them. We'll see how that goes. And so, you know, it's not a perfect car. It might need a little bit of work, but there was a lot of money put into it, and he got it for a really good deal. So he's pretty happy with it, and I get to hear it actually as I'm making this video. I can hear him. He lives a street away. I could hear him start it up and move it around. I think he's going to put the catted X pipe back on right now and see if that changes a little bit of the smell. He can smell the exhaust fumes pretty strong. But it was a fun car, and he let me drive it too, so I took it around, and it felt pretty good, you know. So anyway, that's just kind of what's going on around here. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for more Mustang content.